Well, I just want to say it could have been me because I started my career in eighth grade as a tight end, and then ninth grade through junior year in college I played quarterback. So I'm right up there with him, quarterback and tight end. It could have been me, you know, but it wasn't. It's Tim Tebow.
I am Garrett.
I am Brandon.
We are here to talk about goats.
So we're gonna talk about, discuss, debate the greatest of all time,
Barry Sanders,
Damian Tomlinson.
You're listening to the Goat Herders podcast, where we herd the greatest of all time.
Welcome back to the Goat Herders podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Garrett.
Today we're starting off with a little Jets news. Well, not Jets news anymore, because Tim Tebow is officially a Jacksonville Jaguar. And we wanted to talk a little bit about that. It wasn't that long ago that Tim Tebow was a New York Met in the farm system. Actually, he was in the spring training with the New York Mets just a few months ago. And he decided to retire and step away from baseball. And now the big news is his former coach, Urban Meyer, when Tim Tebow was with the Florida Gators, took him to a championship, won a championship, Heisman Trophy winner, 2 championships. Urban Meyer has signed Tebow not to play quarterback, which is what we all want to see, but to play tight end, a position Tim Tebow has never played in his career. So it's a lot of drama around this. A lot of people are talking about it, mostly because Tim Tebow is a very polarizing person and player. Lots of people love him. And there's some people who don't like him very much. So I have some thoughts on this. What are your initial reactions to Tim Tebow actually getting signed as a 34-year-old, never before played tight end to hopefully make the 53-man roster?
Well, I just want to say it could have been me because I started my career in eighth grade as a tight end, and then ninth grade through junior year in college I played quarterback. So I'm right up there with him, quarterback and tight end. It could have been me, but it wasn't. It's Tim Tebow, and he's it'll be interesting. My biggest concern is, will he be able to block? Because that's, I think, going to be the biggest problem, is that if I see Tim Tebow in the game and I'm defensive coordinator, I'm sending my big tight end barreling right through that side to see if a quarterback can block for his quarterback. So, I mean, that's my biggest concern. I am very happy about the signing, though, because I've always been a big Tebow fan, because I feel like he wasn't given a chance. I'm not going to say he was going to be the next Peyton Manning and he was going to be the next Tom Brady, but I think that he was better than a lot of the quarterbacks that were starting over the past 10 years when it could have been Tebow. And I just think with I hesitate to say baggage, but there's not really much of a better word for it, of what he brings to the table. A lot of teams were very hesitant to give him that chance. And I'm excited to see him back with Urban Meyer and with Trevor Lawrence, and see what they can do, what trick plays they come up with this year, and the excitement that I think that team's going to bring.
I didn't even think about the trick plays, but that, just imagining Tim Tebow getting a lateral, and then, he hasn't played quarterback in a long time, but he can still throw the ball way better than most tight ends.
Right.
How about every tight end? And yeah, that is kind of an interesting thing. So a lot of the drama around this is, like, people think that Urban Meyer is, like, just helping him out, kind of favoring Tim Tebow. And I'm going to be honest, in the 24/7 news cycle, this is just classic journalists, just like, let's get something to talk about. Let's get people riled up. It kind of annoys me, because we have to not forget who Tim Tebow was when he played for Florida. And I know that's not what he is now. He's a lot older. But he was one of the most dominant players of our generation. And if there's any coach who's going to understand how to coach him, how to get him to be ready to play a different position, and understand him as a person and understand him as a player, it's Urban Meyer. So I know he's getting a lot of, like, you're being you're favoring him. You're just giving. It's like, well, he also knows him better than anybody else.
Right.
So he's an athlete. Clearly, he's an athlete because he went and played baseball, and he didn't make it that well, but he played baseball as his second career. How many
Could've
other
been me.
NFL quarterbacks did that? I can't think of one.
Well, I was an NFL quarterback, but I played football and baseball.
Yeah.
So it could have been me.
Yes.
I missed my calling. Yeah, I mean it's crazy because this is, if it was any other name, like no one would even be batting an eyelash at this. This could be who knows, anybody. If it was just some random name, no one's gonna say a word about Jacksonville signing this random John Smith as a tight end, because I mean you don't even know if he's gonna make it out of preseason.
Yeah.
Like he might show up and he can't block the big DNs, and he's not gonna, and they cut him. Like that could be where all the farther this goes. But he's brought so much news to the front, like it's been worth it. I don't know. And the fact that Urban Meyer's doing this in his first year, and I hated him as a coach for Ohio State because I'm a big Michigan fan. But I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been successful. He was successful with Florida. He was successful with Ohio State through thick and thin, through everything that Ohio State went through while he was there. He always had a winning program. And it was, I mean, Ohio State's always had a winning program, but I mean, that's still an accomplishment.
And incredibly good with people and incredibly hardworking, which has led to him to having a lot of health issues. But the point is Urban Meyer is a fantastic coach, and I think he's not a PR guy. It's not his job to run PR for the Jacksonville Jaguars or run PR to be safe. It's his job to put the best football team out there. And if he thinks Tim Tebow can be a tight end, well, he's going to know because he's actually coached him before.
And I even have a sneaky suspicion that this isn't a tight end play. This isn't what he is looking to do with him. He may just have him because he loves his attitude. He loves his mentality. He loves his leadership. And he wants him on the field to mentor Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, he didn't pull him in as a quarterback because he didn't want that to be the discussion. He didn't want Tebow to be is Tebow going to take over Trevor Lawrence's spot? Is he going to be starting for Jacksonville and then have this bigger, no, Urban Meyer knows that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy next year. He wants everyone else to know that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy next year. Tebow's coming in not to be quarterback. He's coming in to be a mentor.
I love
if he ends
that.
up playing tight end with it, like, so be it.
I think that's like a great way of looking at this, and probably nobody's talking about that. I haven't seen that in any of the articles, but it's hard to put Tim Tebow on a Tom Brady type level, but that is the way his teammates deal with him at Florida. You see that people follow Tim Tebow. It's a little bit hard of a pull in the NFL, but it's Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
I mean,
there's not much farther. There's not much farther down they can go.
You're going to a franchise that has literally done nothing in 25 years of existence. They went to an AFC championship game in like the first couple of years of but they've done nothing since. I mean, the players on that
Maurice
team,
Jones-Drew,
they're going to be ready to listen to a guy who's been there, done that, even if it's not in the NFL. He is a fantastic leader. I absolutely agree.
But he has done it in the NFL. He has, and I brought this up in the last episode. He's won a playoff game. Like that's what has always irked me so much is that he has been a quarterback that you can say that quarterbacks don't win playoff games. It's the defense, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But he threw the winning touchdown pass in the first play of overtime. He did that. Not Peyton Manning, not whoever else. I don't even know who other quarterbacks were. This was before Peyton Manning was in Denver, but he still that still was him. He won a playoff game as a quarterback.
And he led the team to the playoffs as a quarterback. I agree with you. I think Trevor Lawrence needs somebody like this, as in does any rookie quarterback. And Tim Tebow is not going to let his ego get in the way of things. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's not. That's not the kind of person he is. There are a lot of reasons people can have issues with Tebow. I get that, but like his ability to lead people, there's a reason people love him. And it's because of his who he is.
Then there's he also does, this is a little bit off topic, but about Tim Tebow. He does he's got a foundation that he does for, I can't think of what it is. They did it at St. Croix when I was teaching there. Oh my goodness. I'm blanking on what it's called. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Is it called the Tim Tebow Foundation?
Yeah, but it's the Night to Shine. It's part of the Tim Tebow Foundation.
Okay.
It's called Night to Shine, and it's a prom experience for people with special needs.
Oh.
And he does this every year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he's done the last 2 years, but he'll go around the country and go, because they do this all at the same night. He'll go around the country and visit these proms for people with special needs. And it's just another thing that speaks to his character, is that he provides the money, he provides the funds, he provides everything to all of these different high schools or businesses that will take on and put these on for these people in the area. And literally like everyone's invited. And the high school I was at did it. And it's a great opportunity for the kids to do service for their community. And I mean, it's just another thing that's a great thing that speaks to his leadership and his faith and everything else that he is.
And again, Jacksonville needs someone like this.
Yeah.
They have not done anything since Mark Brunell and Fred Taylor in the late 1990s.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
But they weren't that great as a football team then even. I don't even know if they made the playoffs.
With Drew?
I don't remember them ever making the playoffs. They had to beat the Colts and the Titans.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's been forever. So they've got Tebow as a tight end. He might not make the team. I think our biggest thing, and my biggest thing, is this is not front page news story. This is actually probably something that, if it is a news story, it's a, wow, look at like a guy reinventing himself again. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can make it.
Right.
And if anything, we have to trust that Urban Meyer is going to actually understand how to put together a winning football team.
Yep.
A lot of people haven't been able to make the jump from college to NFL. If there's somebody that could, it's Urban Meyer.
Yep.
Just kind of like Pete Carroll did it. Urban Meyer could do it too.
Too bad Jim Harbaugh can't do it in reverse.
Oh.
Poor Michigan.
Oh, he went from the Niners to Michigan?
Yeah. Yep. And he could not beat Urban Meyer ever.
Yeah.
Like Michigan, I don't think they ever beat Urban Meyer. So.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think. You really have to it's a different mindset working with NFL players. And I think that's why people thought Pete Carroll was going to fail, because he's so hoorah. You're really winning over teenagers when you're a college coach.
Yep.
And the NFL, these are adults, and there's a huge difference between working with a 22-year-old and a 35-year-old.
Yep.
What motivates them is entirely different, and their maturity level is entirely different, and what they've been through is entirely different.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there's our thoughts on Tim Tebow, Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm excited to see how that plans out.
Yeah, everybody's going to be watching them in the preseason now. Maybe they'll actually won't black out every single game.
Maybe. Let me get the NFL Access Network, NFL Pass, All Access, whatever. Watch all the games.
Well, Jacksonville is historic for they don't have enough fans to fill the
The
stadium.
Lions used to be like that. They were like that when I was growing up.
Yeah.
They were blacked out like every other weekend. It was horrible.
Yeah. So bring in Tebow. You can actually get some fans in the stands. Trevor Lawrence can't do it. Tebow can.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
All right. Well, it's been the Goat Herders podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Garrett. Me.
Welcome back. Welcome.